Hello, and welcome back to Hero Factory Outer Reach, the series in which I make an original Hero Factory theme of my own. If you haven't seen the other episodes, a playlist containing them can be found in the description. Let's get started with our next hero, Preston Stormer. To start, take a CCBS torso and insert 2 black pins. Then, add a black foot and insert a black bar clip into the side of it. Turn it around and add a white breakout torso and a quasicore. For the oxygen tank, take a dark bluish-gray lift arm and insert a black pin axle. Thread on a black ball joint, a dark bluish-gray tank piece, and a dark bluish-gray dome. Insert a light bluish-gray pin and add a black hollow stud. Then, attach it onto the torso. Unlike the previous 2 heroes, which have had 2 weapons, Stormer will only have 1. To make the part count closer to the other heroes and add some more visual flourish, I'll be adding a satellite dish to the torso. Take a black bar handle and add a round tile with a bar. Add a 3x3 black dish and a 2x2 translite blue dish, and insert a 3 long black bar. Then, attach it to the bar clip. For the legs, take a bin 10 foot piece and attach these joints like so. Make 2 of these. Then, attach them onto the torso. For the shin armor, take a size 5 armor shell in white and add a black rounded armor shell. Make 2 of these. Then, attach them to the shins. Then, attach a size 5 armor shell in white onto the thigh. For the arms, attach these joints like this, and add a white fist to this side. For the shoulder armor, take a size 5 in white and add a black armor add-on, then connect it to the shoulder. For some more armor, take a size 4 armor shell in white, add a large white barb, and a small white barb. Make 2 of these. Then add them to the shoulder and the thigh, and attach a plain size 4 in white to the forearm. I'd like to give Stormer a robotic claw, so to make it, take a black axle hub and add a black axle block. Then secure it with a red axle. Insert a 5 long axle, a black wheel, a light bluish-gray half bush, a light bluish-gray driving ring, and a light bluish-gray bush. For the claw, take a 2x2 round plate with bars, and add a black 2x2 round plate, a black 2x2 round tile with hole, and a black boat stud on the back. Then, add 4 translite blue claws to the bars. These will be translite blue in the official render, as I didn't have enough for the physical model. Then, attach it onto the claw base, and attach the assembly to the arm. Take a trans bright green head and attach it onto the torso. Then, take a black whip, insert it into the oxygen tank, and into the head. Take a black ammo belt hose, insert it into the claw, and insert the other end into the oxygen tank. Add a breakout Stormer helmet, and you're done. Here's photos of the finished model, and here's the official render. Now, let's make a villain for Stormer to go up against. This will be the first villain in the series to be a robot as opposed to an alien, and will be named Space Junk. To start, take a 5 long axle with stop, thread on a black ball joint, a light bluish-gray bush, and a Technic crank. Then, add on a CCBS torso with broad shoulders. Rotate the torso, insert 2 black pins, and add a black foot. Flip the torso around again, add a size 5 in flat silver, and 2 size 3 armor shells in black. Then, add a large flat silver barb to the side. For the legs, take this flat silver bionicle star's foot, add a black axle hub, and these joints like so. Make 2 of these, then add them onto the torso. For the shin armor, take a large armor shell in black and add a flat silver blade. Make 2 of these as well. Then, add them onto the shins. Add 2 flat silver size 5s to the thighs, and add a large flat silver barb to the top of this one. For the arms, add these joints like so. For the shoulder armor, take a flat silver size 5 and add a flat silver blade. You'll need 2 of these. Then, add them onto the shoulders. For the weapons, take a black axle hub and insert 2 red axles into the sides. Insert a 3 long axle and 2 black Technic connectors. Add 2 flat silver Zamor launchers to the sides and a flat silver claw to the front. Then add them onto the arms. I'd like to give Space Junk a giant satellite dish on his back, so to do so, take a 4-long axle with stop and thread on a black ball joint and a light bluish-gray bush. Make sure the ridged side is facing up. Add a black 10x10 dish and a black 6x6 dish. Add a dark bluish-gray round brick with fins, a dark bluish-gray cone, and a 4-long bar in trans-bright green. Then, add it to the back of the torso. For the head, take a trans-bright green brain attack head and add a black bar clip and a black gear. Take a thunder helmet and attach it to the front. Then, add it to the neck. Take a flat silver hose, attach it to the side of the torso, and into the back of the black foot. Take 2 more flat silver hoses and insert them into the black foot and the weapons. Add 2 Zamor spheres and you're done. Here are photos of the finished model, and here's the official render. Now, let's make a combiner of these two. Take a CCBS torso with broad shoulders, insert 2 black pins, and add another CCBS torso upside down. Insert 2 more black pins and add a black foot. Add a black axle hub to the rear neck joint, flip the torso around, and add a white breakout torso. For the front legs, take a black axle hub, insert a 3-long axle, add a black axle connector, and add a flat silver star's foot. Then insert a flat silver claw. Flip the assembly around and add these joints. Make 2 of these, then add them onto the torso. Then add a flat silver barb to the sides of the claws. For the shoulder armor, take a large black armor shell and add a rounded black armor add-on. You'll need 2 of these. Then add them to the shoulders and add 2 black size 3s to the bottom of these joints. For the hind legs, connect these joints like so. For the thigh armor, take a white size 5 and insert a large white barb. Make 2 of these. Then attach them to the thighs. For the mandibles, add these joints to the front. For some more armor, take a white size 4 and insert a small white barb. You'll need 2 of these. Then add them to the mandibles. Take a flat silver size 5 and add a flat silver blade. Make 4 of these. Then add them to the mandibles and the hind legs. For the weapons, take a black axle hub, insert 2 red axles, and add 2 flat silver Zamor launchers. Make 2 of these. Then add them to the torso. For the satellite dish, take a 5-long axle with stop, thread on a black ball joint, and a black axle connector. Add a black 2x2 round tile with hole, a 10x10 black dish, a 6x6 black dish, a black 2x2 round plate, and a black 2x2 round plate with bars. Add a dark bluish-gray dome, and insert a black 3-long bar. Thread on a black wheel, a 3x3 black dish, a dark bluish-gray round brick with fins, a dark bluish-gray cone, a trans-light blue dish, and a 4-long bar in trans-bright green. Then add 4 trans-light blue claws. Then attach it to the black foot. For the neck, attach a black joint to the neck joint. For the neck armor, take a white size 4 and add a black armor add-on. Then connect it to the neck joint. For the head, take a trans-bright green brain attack head, add a black bar clip, then attach a thunder helmet to the top. Then attach it to the neck. Take a black ammo belt and attach it to the black axle hub and the satellite dish. Then, take 2 black silver hoses and insert them into the black axle hub and the Zamor launchers. Take a black whip, thread it into the torso armor and into the head. Finally, add the Zamor spheres and you're done. Here are the pictures of the finished model. And here's the official render. And that will cap off this episode of Hero Factory Outer Reach. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.